All right, I want to do a quick overview with you on speech, interpersonal communications, section 2113. And this is just a quick way to get a good idea of how Canvas is set up here. You can see here that this is the opening page. I'm your instructor, Mark Fry. Email address here. Click this link and it gets you started. Notice where it takes you. It takes you right to what are called the modules. Now, modules are like the chapters of a book, and the best thing is just to start at the beginning and work your way right through. The first module is the introduction to the class. We have the syllabus. We have different links here. There's a Meet Your Professor link, some tips to navigating the course, tips to using Canvas in general, and there is a little orientation quiz that's just based on looking over this information. That's due on August 25th. That's something very quick and easy to do. You'll see it's no problem. There is also what's called a meet and greet discussion, where you'll post some information, a little video that you'll make real quick and easy. Then we get into the About the Course section. We end up doing something here called the War Story speech that you'll also post and upload. I recommend you take a look at the War Story examples. These are really entertaining. I have 120 short videos. You do not need to watch them all by any means unless you really want to, but I would recommend you watch at least one or two, kind of get an idea. You can scroll through here and see all the different people who've had their speeches recorded on video. It's a really good way to get a sense of what the war story is about. And essentially, the war story is really a story that you're going to tell about a time when you got into some kind of trouble, right? You can click on the link here. And essentially, you got into some kind of difficulty, and then you end your story by saying, the moral of my story is, and then you tell us what you learned from the experience. It's really fairly cut and dry, and you'll see as you go through it. All right, back into the modules again. You've gone through this second group here. The big module here is called the skill package. Now, this is a basic project that you're going to do that's going to go from the beginning of the course all the way to December to the end of the course. And I made a separate video on that because it's a little more complicated, but this is the area where you would upload the work that you do, and I have you upload it in segments you'll see as you go through. So I'll let you dig into that video so you learn all about that later. As you're doing the skill package, you do the chapters of the course, and they're broken up. There's 7 chapters. They're all kind of similar in the way they're structured. There are links here. Each one of these is a link to click on, which will give you the material of the course. There are also some audio versions. I've been making more audio versions, so I'll be posting those as we go along, if you prefer to just listen to the chapters as opposed to reading them. But this is chapter 1. Chapter 2 comes up. You don't actually have any work you have to do until you get through chapter 2. There is an activity called a stop and think. You'll see as you're reading the chapter occasionally, it'll stop and say, stop and think, and it'll give you a couple of prompts. And you get to pick the one you want to do. And then you basically write about it, right? You write about it and upload it, and then you've done that assignment. There's also a little quiz on chapters 1 and 2 and a study guide that goes with it. Chapter 3 is similar, right? Using encouraging communication, learning to overcome defensiveness. You'll see the reading material. There's a stop and think, study guide, quiz. Chapter 4, nonverbal, same kind of setup. There is actually an activity that you do as well called the nonverbal experiment, which you can click on and read about. And chapter 5 deals with listening. There's an exercise that you do for that. Chapter 6 is conflict resolution. And there's actually a stop and think and a quiz that covers the listening chapter and conflict resolution. Finally, it winds up chapter 7, communicating in difficult situations. You'll see there's a series of articles to read and then a reflection assignment that you do after you're done. Then we get to the final, which is the last part of the course. The final is a little speech that you upload where you talk about what you learned from doing your skill package. It's not an examination, it's a final speech. And you'll see that there are some examples here that you can look at as well of videos I've made over the years of students giving their final presentations. There's quite a few here. Just watch a couple at least so that you get an idea of what it looks like. Finally, at the very end, you'll see there's A final evaluation you do that's just a reflection on, for me really, on what you liked and didn't like about the course. And there's a couple extra credit opportunities for you as well. Also, it's helpful, and I'll go into student view here. You can kind of see this is more a little bit like, it looks a little bit different from your perspective as a student. You can always check your grades. It's a good idea to check them all the time. I also recommend that you go into your account settings here and turn on some notifications. You don't have to have notifications turned on for every single little aspect of the course, but it's pretty helpful to at least get notified, like if I make a new announcement or if there's an assignment that gets graded. You want to keep track of your assignments, watch the due dates, and keep me posted as you go along. I will have office hours on Thursdays at 5. I look forward to seeing many of you there. And of course, reach out to me anytime you have any difficulties or you want to discuss anything. You can always email me. My phone number is, my cell phone number is listed for you as well in the opening modules. So there you go. Good luck, and we'll see you along the way. Thank you.